everybody, this is Melody from Melody's Makings, and I'm going to do kind of a speedy tutorial today because my son keeps walking in and interrupting it. I'm never going to get through if it's not a little quick, but I'm pretty excited about today because today is the tutorial that you will need in order to move on to knitting your actual hat pattern that you've already selected. If you haven't selected a pattern yet, go ahead and check out my first blog post, and there's 3 listed there that are perfect beginner patterns as well as a 50% off code, so you can purchase them at a lower rate. So anyways, today we're going to talk about alternating between knitting and purling in the middle of your row versus doing 1 row knit, 1 row purl, 1 row knit, 1 row purl. So you will need this for both the ribbed pixie and the summer kerchief patterns. You will not need this for the Valentine's Day bonnet pattern, but I encourage you to practice it anyways because you're going to want to do a pattern that will use it someday. So basically, in order to alternate between knitting and purling, you just need to go ahead and start with a couple knits, do whatever your pattern says, but for just these practice, you can just start with a couple knits. And then, in order to switch to a purl after a knit, you just need to pull your yarn to the front because purls have the yarn in front always. So you just move your yarn from the back to the front. It's very simple, just move it from the back to the front and then go ahead and do your purls. When you get back to your knit stitches, sorry about that, when you get back to your knit stitches, you just move your yarn from the front to the back. Very, very simple, from the front to the back. And then you do your knit stitches. And right now what I'm doing is 2 knit, 2 purl, 2 knit, 2 purl. It's a good way to practice the alternations. In the summer kerchief pattern, you are going to alternate every 1 stitch. So I'll show you what that would look like too. So if we were alternating every 1 stitch, I'm going to start with a knit stitch, so I'm moving my yarn back to the back. Then you would do a knit stitch. Then you would move it to the front of your work, do a purl stitch. Oh, goodness, I'm getting all messed up here. There we go. Move your yarn to the back of your work, do a knit stitch. Move your yarn to the front of your work, do a purl stitch. So if you're doing 2 at a time, if you're doing 2 knit, 2 purl, 2 knit, 2 purl, that's going to be what is called a rib. Ribbing and knitting is very stretchy, so it'll have a lot of stretch to it, and that's nice. If you're doing, for the summer kerchief pattern, 1 knit, 1 purl, 1 knit, 1 purl, like I just showed you, that's going to be called a seed stitch, and it makes a really beautiful texture once you get a little further in. So I will go ahead and take a couple pictures of what the 2 of them look like so that you can get an idea, and it will be in the blog post that accompanies this video. So check out my posts at www.melodies-makings.com. Comment with any questions you have, and let me know how you're enjoying the tutorials. I can't wait to see your projects underway. I will be back with how to do the 3 needle bind off pattern soon. Happy knitting!